Can you present yourself for the viewers?
Sure. I'm Zhang Hui. I'm the group vice president of NIO based in Munich. Actually, I'm running overall our operation in Europe.
So it's a big task.
Definitely.
Yes.
It's from the day one, actually, as we started in 2015.
Yes. So I will start with some questions first about you. When you were little, what was your dream car?
Yeah, my dream car was actually, as I was a little boy, is a Mercedes S-Class. Right. That's the car back like 30, 40 years ago was the only car probably you even could see in Chinese market.
Yes. At that time, Volkswagen came in and they only built the Santanas, right?
That was the first model they chose.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, and later on, people get to know. Sorry, there's other brands under the Volkswagen Group.
Yes. So your first car then?
My first car, as I said, in China was really Volkswagen. Yeah. In Germany, as I moved to Germany for my master degree, was Polo.
Polo.
Yeah.
And did you have a Santana as well?
No, I didn't. Yeah.
Okay.
But we have I have driven the Santana as well in China.
Okay. So what car do you have now?
I'm driving NIO
Of course.
EL7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And your dream car now?
Dream car is ET9.
Obviously. Yeah. I saw the presentation last night and it was really impressive. The technology and the luxury and level and the pricing as well was really impressive.
I mean, definitely the price is, I believe, in terms of the features and the functionalities is really attractive,
Yes.
I would say, and especially with bus offering. And you know, with battery as a service, it's always give additional attractive of the vehicles.
Yes. So how long have you, or how did you end up in the car industry? Why?
Oh, I mean, actually, I went to Germany for my master degree in 2000, and after that, obviously, automotive industry is the strongest industry in Germany. On one hand, on the other hand, it's been always attractive for me because it's an industry with very comprehensive supply chain, comprehensive engineering, but also is the product itself is a technical product.
Yes.
But the sales and the service itself is the B2C, which requires also different skills. So that's why, I mean, you barely find the other industry with those kind of a combination, which could attract a young man or a young lady.
Yeah, yes, it's a fun business to be in. So how important is it for NIO to succeed in Europe? Because you're selling like 99% of the cars in China.
I mean, number one is NIO is a born global startup. And the first foreign locations for NIO was in 2015 to set up our global design center in Munich, which we are still operating from Munich. And we have over 100 design team who are working both for NIO brand and also Firefly, and we have also design team for Onvo. So being a global company with a European footprint from day one in the history, and it already tells that we should also get the product to the market. And secondly, European market is one of the most part of the whole puzzle in the automotive industry, especially in the renewable energy vehicle market, because Europe is just undergoing since years for a transformation of energy and with the e-mobility. And that's why being successful in the global auto industry, you should be definitely on the European market. And thirdly, for internally, that would be also a good reward and also encouraging for our team. So we are now in Europe have already over 1,000 employees
Yes,
or
that's a lot.
newers, and split it in almost 11 countries. And we have 5 R&D center in Europe, in England, in Hungary, but also in Germany. And that's why it would be very encouraging tools to give or to show our newers, here is the product that you have been working on or you are working on now, and that's also the product you probably with a pride to demonstrate or show to your friends and your families.
So it's more about being a success in Europe. It's not about the money. It's about proving that you do the right thing. And I mean, will be profitable. I think 2026 as a company, as a group. You hope, but you will not be profitable in Europe 26.
I mean, we're talking about overall the group because, as you mentioned just now, the sales volume is still mainly in Chinese market, and for Europe market, we have also make a very clear 2 key message. First of all, we said that the European market is the right market for our business model as a user community and user enterprise. And second is the product as a BEV itself is the right product for the European market. And I mean, that's definitely based on those strategic principles, we believe European market is the right market. And secondly, on top, we also committed to the European market in the long run.
Yes.
A good example is we have set up already almost 59 or 60 swap station only in Europe, and we have a 5 R&D center. So that is we are still growing in the European market, and that is our long-term commitment. With this long-term commitment, you gonna considered about also benefit or even economic benefit in the long run instead of in the short term.
Yeah, you're in the long game.
Right. Yeah. I mean, auto industry is a is a long-term investment with advanced investment, always 5 or 6 years in advance. That's why coming back to the meaning or the importance of European market for NIO, what I said, I think is for the short term and for the next 3 years. Yeah, because if every company want to be profitable in the long run. Yeah, because we're creating jobs. We are also creating social values, and one of the value is the economic success. So that's why I'm not saying the success, also economic success in Europe is not important for NIO in the long run, but you have to split it into different phases.
Yes. So what about the tolls now coming to Europe?
What that?
The toll.
Oh, the tariff.
Tariffs, yes.
Yeah. Right. I mean, the tariff is obviously, I would say, is against the free trade globally, right? And especially for certain industry, including automotive industry, is a global industry with a global supply chain, with a global selling base, and also with a global community with among different countries. And that's why we definitely speak against about very clearly on the tariffs, which on one hand will have some delaying factors for the transformation in the European energy and also for the overall climate production in the European continent. And secondly, of course, with the tariff, it will have additional costs on top for the consumers who are actually willing to make this a switch from combustion engine to the renewable energy vehicles, but that will have a delay effect. Right, and thirdly, overall, it will have an impact on the global economy because we are working on a global supplier base. So that's based on the reason, I think clearly our position on the tariff. On the other hand, we're going to cope with the new circumstance, right? And as I mentioned, we have worked out, of course, some of the long-term and also short-term countermeasures, how we should really react on this tariff. But on the other hand, we are still, or even myself, are still optimistic with the hope that the Chinese government still can achieve agreement with the European Commission by talking about the minimum price undertaking, which could be a compromise solution in first step.
So how much will the tariffs affect your prices? Do you have to take all the 20% you have?
20.7%.
Yeah.
That's I mean, obviously each company has a different cost structure, right? And but at the end of the day, this is a hard fact, 20.7%, which probably nobody can absorb themselves, right? And but so far, we are still observing the final retail price in the long run. As I said, in November, there was a technical team from the European Commission going to China and have a conversation and a negotiation from the both sides. And we still hope that there will be some agreement achieved very soon.
So this will maybe speed up the decision to take production to Europe.
Obviously, we always are considering NIO as a global company. But as I mentioned, the global company means global R&D, what we are having now already in Europe, and global sales, what we are doing in 5 European countries, and also global supply chain we have already, many of the European suppliers, partners, and last but not least is the global production. Right? So to be clear, NIO is observing the market development on one hand. On the other hand, each company, including NIO, need to make a clear business case. Right? So at the end of the day, it's based on a business case decision. What would be the reasonable and rational what you can make based on the total volume of the sales, based on the total investment you're going to put either in greenfield, brownfield, or whatever you will consider.
So business decisions, in China you can buy the car with the battery and still use the battery swapping system. And I think that it would be a better solution for you in Europe as well, because then you have the residual values more stable. You will have great residual values because you have always a good and fresh battery and a modern battery. So will you change your opinion on that?
First, thanks for your advice. We will definitely need
free.
It's a free. Thank you. Yeah, this is a Christmas gift. I think we definitely will consider it, and what is the best scenario for both on the user side and for NIO side, because we started entering the European market 3 years ago. So if you like, NIO is a still very small company, also in Europe, both in the market share and also in the overall team size. So that's why I think we will definitely consider what is the best.
Okay, so we might see that in the future. Might be. So the price war, is it the hardest in China or in Europe? The competition.
I mean, competition-wise, I would say that the Chinese market is on one hand the biggest automotive market in terms of the volume, but also in terms of the competition is the hardest because we have the most registered car makers in
Around
this country.
200, right?
I think it's already reduced the numbers.
Yes.
This is a different statistic, but
Yeah.
definitely, I mean, in Europe, you probably can count already with both hands, whereas in China, you probably need 10 times your both hands, or
Yes.
even more than that.
Yeah.
That's why I would say the competition is hardest. Also, thirdly, because here on the market, you have the players all over the world, whether it's Americans, Japanese, Korean, Germans, also the European players, and of course the Chinese local ones. So that's makes the market very dynamic.
Yes. So how important is Firefly for you in Europe?
I mean, Firefly obviously is giving open another segment for the user base
Yes.
for NIO, because it's a so-called smart premium small cars,
Yes.
right? And we just launched yesterday the brand, and
Yes.
we said the design philosophy is actually vivid, thoughtful, and solid.
Yeah.
So following this principle, definitely you will find the segment in urban area, but also for those who is demanding both in the solid, in the safety, in the technical advanced features, but also in the vivid design and space, right? So that will, we hope, give us in the volume, because it's a different pricing segment,
Yes.
and it's also different size of the cars, and that also will enlarge the new community
Yeah.
in the long run. And thirdly, with Firefly, we also will introduce the new swap station
Yes.
for specifically made and created and engineered for Firefly, and we will also deploy it, more and more power swap station for Firefly in Europe.
So last question then.
Yeah.
If you would give an advice for the European OEMs who are struggling in China, what would be your advice for them to do, or should you merge or go together with some European companies? Do you think, or what should they do to survive in this really harsh environment?
First of all, I don't think I'm going to give advice to the colleagues.
Yeah.
And secondly, I think many of the European companies have been doing very well
They have.
for decades.
They
right?
have.
If we have Volkswagen, we have a
Yes.
Mercedes, a
Yeah.
BMW, Audi, but also Volvo, those other brands,
Yeah.
right? And each company in their history, in the development, always have a different circle.
Yeah.
And I would say that is only temporary. And for the market, what we wish is still that we should work together to make this transformation,
Yes.
convincing our user from combustion engine to electric mobility first. And then we will talk about, okay, how we're gonna have split the market share, right? And but one thing is for sure, the Chinese market is very agile, right? And that's why each company needs to stay very much agile in both of the product development, product definition, but also in terms of the overall operation and also organization. I think that is the most important.
I must have one last. Volvo, they are in US, they are in Europe, and they are in China. There is no other bigger brand who can be on the three regions. That must be an advantage for them.
You mean Volvo?
Volvo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do we build the question?
They are producing cars in US and China and in Europe.
Yeah.
And as I know, there is no other Chinese brand who can do that.
I won't say no other Chinese brands can do that.
Yeah, of
I would
course.
say they haven't done it so far. But if I think we have seen there's a more Chinese company also set up overseas production, even in South American right now, also in Europe, and I believe car industry is a global industry. As we just talked, you need to go being a global successful automotive company. Otherwise, you won't really survive in the competition.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah. Eric, thank you for the questions, and
thank you.
Yeah, maybe Merry Christmas for your audience here, your fans.
Thank you.